Permit me to call on Pastor Wishing Shaivi to do the opening prayer. Praise the Lord. Because I know our brother who wrote this book by the power of the Holy Ghost. It was not by his power, and by the power of the living God, he's going to succeed in Jesus' name. Amen. Since we are godly people here, we must share the word of God together. It's going to be a very brief one. To also encourage our brother that the Lord is with him and the Lord will help him. For when the Lord gives a vision, he makes the provisions. It is the Lord that has given him this vision. The ways of success and prosperity in it, the Lord will also give it to him in Jesus' name. Amen. I will look into the book of Ecclesiastes, and I will be reading from chapter 3. I will read verse 9 to 15. And these are the words of the Lord. The Lord says, "What profit has the worker from that in which he labors?" This is a very big question to every one of us. I have seen that God-given tasks with which the sons of men are to be occupied, He has made everything beautiful in His time. Also, He has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God has done, that God does from the beginning to end. I know that nothing is better for them than to rejoice and to do good in their lives. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labors. It is the gift of God. Today I want you to know what you've done is a gift of God and it will be a blessing in your life. Amen. In 14 I says, I know that whatever God does, it shall be forever. Amen. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. God does it that men should fear before Him. 15 and the last. That which is has already been, and what is be has already been. And God requires an amount of what is past. My brothers and sisters, it is something good to be a blessed man, to do good things, to work for the upliftment of your people. We can see the work our brother has done. It is not only to glorify himself, but also to bring glory to Nigeria. This work I've gone through it. It is something to introduce foreign investments. And we Nigerians that have come to Europe, we've come to know Europe more than our own country. Some of us are now here for decades. We've come to know Europe than our own country. We do not even know the business proposals in Enugu any longer. We do not know what is happening in Sokoto State. But our brother, through this book, he has refocused our attention back home. Not only for foreign investors, but also for we Nigerians, that we must look back home, and our home is waiting for us with an open hand. So I thank God for His life, and I want us to just rise up and thank God for today. I know that most of us, 60% of those of us that are here, we are Christians. So I want us to give God the glory for today. You permit me, for those that are non-Christians, while God wants you to become Christians, I would want to sing this song to thank God for today. This is a day that the Lord has made, and we are going to rejoice in it. Because this day is not by accident, it is the day the Lord has designed to bring His glory into the life of our brother and into the life of his family. So I want us to sing this song together, that this is the day the Lord has made. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice, and be glad in it, and be glad in it. Hallelujah. This is Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you, we adore your name. We bless you, for today happens to be the day that you have made. Today is not a day that has come to our life by accident, but by divine appointment our eyes see this day. We thank you above all for this gathering that you have made our eyes to see. For the sake of your son and servant, Brother Osazuwa Omede and his family, for this mighty thing that you have used them to do in our midst. Father, we want you to come and take the glory and honor. Amen. Father, you do not give a vision without the provisions. Oh my Lord, you are the one that raises up and brings down. Without you, my Lord, the builder builds in vain. Without you, my Lord, the night watchman washes the city in vain. But with you, everything is us. With you, everything is possible for us. For this, we thank you for today. We know that you that have called us, that have called your son to carry out this job, you will also perfect it in his life in Jesus' name. We submit this occasion into your hands. Holy Spirit, we ask you to come and be the chairman to this occasion. Everything we're going to do here, my Lord, may it bring glory to your name. May it bring blessings to your son, Osazuwa. May it make this book to prosper. Father, you have started a good thing in his life. Come and perfect and permanent it in Jesus' name. Father, this book this day, we anoint it with the blood of Jesus Christ. This book this day, my Lord, we launch it by the special power of the Holy Ghost. Father, whoever sees and read this book, Father, may he buy it and may bring a blessing to all their lives. And may the blessing at the final end, my Lord, be to your son. And the glory and honor be to your mighty name. Father, I submit this occasion to your hands. Whatever that is not from you, we remove from this place. We want your Holy Spirit to minister to everyone here today. Father, we thank you, we bless your name. Even for this prayers answered. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Praise Master Jesus. Hallelujah.
We are talking of a book, and this book will definitely be reviewed, one, and there's bound to be guest speakers, and these are people who are later, people who knows one and two, and put the difference together to make whatever answer they desire. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll call the list, which is not endless, very short. We'll call on the representative of the Nigeria Embassy, Olusegun Obasanjo, present in our midst here today. He will be one of the guest speaker on this occasion today. He's already on the high table, but when the time comes, of course, he'll be here to give us the word on the book.
The next person on the list of the guest speakers is one of our very good artist, actress, a kind of bridge between Italian culture and the Nigerian culture per se. She's also a press woman, a moderator, a presenter. She's an epitome of what a complete artist is. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome to the front row Miss Sonia Aimiwu. We're going to see more of her. The rest will speak for himself.
But where I come from, where black is the beauty, a woman is the wife of the entire family. I will respect that a lot because she has a lot of people to respect, and that brings out the values of the Nigerian woman. And today, this woman I'm about to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, has played the motherly role to a lot of us, to a lot of our sisters. She's been to Nigeria severally, and I can say it boldly that in several occasions that I've been to this country, in my course of duty, she's been of great assistance when she hears the name Nigeria. She has done greatly that she almost deserves an award from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mrs. Rosanna. Mrs. Rosanna Paradiso Omede. Please put your hands together. And let me quickly tell you, that's the wife of the author today. The man who has decided to go continental and even go beyond the shore.
Next on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody I will refer to as an oasis in the world of feminine literacy. On the list is a very close brother, a young entrepreneur. ladies and gentlemen, this young man puts life into anything he does. And the life brings love and smile to faces. I feel very proud of him. I feel good associating myself with him. Let us welcome to the front row Mr. Osazuwa, the director of Multimedia.
Let's put your hands together for me. Creativity, they say, is like a scientific word. When you see a creative person, you know their head upstairs is filled of something. Not pure water, it's filled of great knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, after knowing the people that will be delivering paper here this evening, I will have the privilege, the honor to introduce the author of the book we are all gathered here to review and to grab a copy of, to know more about Nigeria. The sensitivity of this book might not be appreciated now until you go through it, benefit from it, explore everything that is possible in it, and make the best use of it. Before you know, you just have an encyclopedia of Nigerian business directory back home in Nigeria, right in front of you. Nigeria, to a lot of people, is a large black community. But I tell you, in my sojourn within that country called Nigeria, I know it is bound with a lot of opportunities. And when my dear friend, Osazuwa Omede, called me, Ebis, I'm going to Nigeria. I said, oh boy, wait till you, something they have for him. He said, I have to bridge the gap. And for a young man like this to decide to bridge the gap between a great country like Nigeria and the big continent of Europe, I think it deserves a big round of applause. Osazuwa Omede, a brilliant creative artist, a man who before me had picked up some piece of bamboos and brought out a beautiful creative work. Most of them you can see hanging around you. A man who started the work of creativity at a very tender age. Around 1983, he started tossing with things back in his father's compound. For a creative artist to come out and say he will bridge the gap between Nigeria and Europe and America, he's a great man as far as I'm concerned.
I'm actually filled of joy. I don't know how to start. I mean, it's been a dream to have Nigerians all together like this and do something positive this time, because I think it's time to change. First of all, I'd like to thank God for this initiative, because it's actually not my initiative. God gave it up. So I just appreciate God for everything, and if you don't mind, please, just let's permit me. I decided to write my speech because I'm not very good in cramming things, so I give my speech. His Excellency, Nigerian Ambassador to Italy, represented by the Minister from the Embassy, Mr. Sam Koko, respected and dignified guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you. I feel really elated this evening to present a book that will be part of the developmental process of a great country, my country, Nigeria. As a Nigerian, I realized that I was always confronted with questions and posers on what Nigeria as a country really stands for. Answering this question every now and then identified and inspired me to put this book together. Nigeria is more seen and seen, if you know what I mean. People say all sorts of things about Nigeria. This book is therefore geared towards writing, putting this negative phenomena about Nigeria, putting it right. Because I think it's time that we Nigeria stand and say enough is enough. Because when a normal Nigerian woman is being seen along, I wouldn't use this country, Europe or outside Nigeria. Sorry. We always have this problem. So I think we have to fight against this. Because I think Nigerian women are the most respected women all over the world. It's a land that has the greatest oil. It's the sixth largest country that produces oil. And this is a great thing. And with a lot of virgin lands, an area of economic benefit, begging to be nice and tapped. Nigeria's economy does not only hover around our richness as the sixth largest oil producing nation in the world, but there are other areas, so many that has not been fully tapped and revealed by this book. A handbook on business privileges in Nigeria is a book that when you open it, just mention the question. Anybody can just ask anything right now. It's all in this book. This book would have achieved its end if foreigners, investors, goodwill Nigerians, and friends of Nigeria pick up a copy and then study or consult it in order to play a part in the developmental process of Nigeria. This book also goes a long way in discussing and discouraging foreign investors from falling into the hands of fraudsters. This, I think, shouldn't be left out. We can talk about everything positive about Nigeria, but somewhere along the line we have to be clear-minded. We have to also, we can't just invite investors to say, listen, Nigeria has this, Nigeria has that, you come and invest. But you have to tell them that, listen, there might be some levels along the way, let me use that word. We have to also, kind of enlighten them about this. And I wrote some things that I got from the Nigerian police force in Nigeria. It's a little, how should I put it now, it's a little guideline to investors and even Nigerians on how to safeguard yourself against this thing called porn, if you know what I'm saying. At least they will know where to go and what to do if they must do genuine business in Nigeria. It's not just doing business in Nigeria, doing genuine business in Nigeria. This book speaks value for itself. For foreigners to Nigeria to tap again and again from the Greenland. At this junction, I wholeheartedly wish to thank those who contributed in many ways towards making this book a success. I wish to thank my biggest brother. I call him my biggest brother. He's my friend, he's my father, he's my everything in this country. He actually inspired me to put up this book. It's no other person than Mr. Martin Zagola. And my in-law, so permit me to use that because he's my in-law, there's nothing to change that. Mr. Henry Ogbebo. And then my able pastor, he's been beside me all the way along, through prayers and everything. Pastor Wisdom, sorry me though. And my friend, Mr. Tunde Nombo, he's coming out of and I shouldn't forget about this, to all members of CACGM today. My son came in on me. Last but not the least, Osazuwa Omede. That's Osazuwa Omede. think that's about all. I really tried my best to make this speech very brief. But one thing I want to say is, before I leave is, God bless our country, Nigeria.
I'm sure we all want to echo that. God bless our country, Nigeria. I would say I'm just beginning to feel the way I'm feeling after hearing or listening to Osazuwa speak now. I've heard him speak, discuss ideas with me, say things about Nigeria. I've been convinced some few years back that this man, this young man at his age, is fully dedicated to the right cause that will make his country great. And that is why I'm sure we are here together to celebrate the first victory of his step ahead. Please put your hands together for Mr.
Chairman proposed to also be double serve as the chief launcher for this grand occasion, and permit me to call on the Chief Francis Ayakora, aka Bishop. The representative of the Nigerian Embassy Rome, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed in the absence of a categorized documentation. Good evening, and may I formally say, in my capacity as one of the chief servants for this eminence occasion, may I formally say welcome to the launching of this little roadmap to a new Nigerian-made society. You see, I think the world over, at every given point in time, generations could decide to live and pass away like the breeze without leaving any footprint, without leaving behind any historical habits, attitude that will help the future generations to grow on. I think our society is one that is very, very poor in this regard. Ours is one of the oldest known civilization or tradition world over. But today, we cannot even correctly tell what happened before the Biafran Nigerian Civil War. See, history is turned upside down because we don't have documentation. Nigerian nation as of today has no data bank. There is no way you go to find empirical data concerning certain institutions. And what my friend and brother Osazuwa Omede has started doing now is that he is one of the very few who have decided that the journey of a million miles must begin with a single step. And that is exactly what he has tried to do. I am very, very sure that the path he has chosen is an honorable one. It is worth every bit of our compliment. Whatever we can do to make this sustainable should be done. And please,
if during the course of the discussions this evening, you find yourself wanting in one aspect of your life or the other, take it in good shape. Go home and think about your life and make amends. When I was young, I was told that the slow and steady always wins the race. But as I begin to grow, I begin to see that the slow and steady does not win the race always. But my heart rejoices the more because even when the slow and steady does not win the race, the fast and arrogant that sometimes ends up winning the race, but most times they do not end up finishing the race at all. The slow and steady always finishes the race. You see, we are taught lessons every day, but we do not know what we are being told. See, if you come to the Autostrada, to the express road, there is a little injunction, a little advice you always see. They say keep to the right. See, we all have very fast cars, but the wise men who built that beautiful road will always advise you to keep to the right. You know why? You know why? There are more accidents on the extreme left than on the right. Why? Because there are many fast people on the fast lane. So we are there with our posh cars, with our sleek, fast cars, driving at 240 kilometers per hour. The people on the right who do 100 kilometers per hour, say you are going to Rimini or Rome, you will notice that most times, even at your speed, when you arrive, it doesn't take another 10 minutes, the slow and steady will arrive. So what Osamede has done is to take this part, which I say is honorable, and should be sustained by us all. So in my capacity as the chief servant, let me once again formally welcome each and every one of you, promising you that this evening will be enriched by God Almighty, who gives everything good, who sustains all of us. He will strengthen all of us through this evening, and I am sure that in no distant time, some of us will also try to show us, to exhibit, to prove to other people who are casting aspersions on the image of the Nigerian nation. Let us all join hands and turn the tide of time, so that, as the Igbo man says, the mouth that said bad today, very soon they will say good about us. Thank you and welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I first of all congratulate the organizers of this great event. In particular, I wish to commend Mr. Omede Osazuwa for taking time and pains to put together facts that the Italian entrepreneurs need to be enlightened and the privileges provided to those interested in doing business in Nigeria. I thank him also for providing the embassy the opportunity to talk on the important topic, investment/business opportunities. At this juncture, I wish to extend the best wishes of the chargé d'affaires at the interior of the embassy in Rome, Mr. Danjo Eguchi, and other staff of the embassy who would have loved to show a better presence to this great ceremony, but for some other official engagements. It is my great pleasure and privilege to address this distinguished audience and to discuss the immense investment opportunities that have been put in place by the civilian government that took office in May 1999. I welcome this unique opportunity to enlighten members of the business community in Torino on what Nigeria offers to genuine foreign investors, and for us to identify new areas for enhancing investment and trade interactions between Nigeria and India. I would like not only to arouse the interests of the businessmen that are here with us today about the great opportunities in Nigeria for Italian investors, but importantly, to correct the wrong impression that some of you may have about the business environment in Nigeria. I want to talk about type of economy. It is pertinent to note the fact that the current administration of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, who assumed office in 1999 and had just taken another oath of office on the 29th of May, has decided to operate an economy which is market-oriented, private sector-led, highly competitive, internally and globally, particularly in areas of comparative advantage, technology-driven, broad-based and open. The objective. The major objectives of the new economic vision for the economy are to revive and grow Nigeria's comatose economy, to significantly raise the standard of living of the people, to put the citizens back to gainful work and create new employment opportunities, to reposition the economy, to participate, etc. Special focus on education and human capital development. etc. To ensure success, some specific measures were implemented by the government to create an enabling environment that could sustain democracy, regain international respectability, and put the economy on the path to sustainable growth and development. The government has taken actions that include signing into law of the Anti-Corruption Bill and setting up of an independent corrupt practices commission with wide powers to investigate public office holders suspected to be corrupt. Some of you may be aware of the newly established Financial Crime Commission that is majorly charged with fighting financial crimes, particularly the notorious 419. And let me also say that some of you may be aware that very recently some big fishes in Nigeria have been put behind the bars by this commission, including a re-elected member of the House of Representatives. Government has also done something by curtailing excessive and extra budgetary spending by government, adopting measures to achieve fiscal prudence, transparency, minimal deficit, and efficient resource use. Monitoring domestic and international campaigns to recover looted public assets, including introducing the Universal Basic Education Scheme to eliminate illiteracy and ignorance, addressing the energy crisis, reviewing developments in the various critical sectors of the economy, establishing a national minimum living wage, rehabilitating of rundown structures, assisting the private sector to increase utilization of installed capacity, establishing prudence and stability in macroeconomic management, funding, equipping, and reposition of internal security organs, review and affirmation of a strong desire for structural implementation of the privatization program, restructuring and reform of operations at Nigerian ports. Those of you that have traveled to Nigeria recently will bear witness that our airports have improved tremendously, unlike what you witnessed some 5 or 6 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, needless to emphasize that the major thrust in all these economic measures is the full empowerment of the private sector, both as the leader and major catalyst in the economy, and also the establishment of the ideal environment in the country to attract substantial foreign investment into the economy. Quite recently, the federal government of Nigeria unfolded a 10-point economic policy blueprint. The overall aim of the policy framework is to establish the basis for achieving steady, realistic, and achievable optimal medium-term growth, creating productive jobs and reducing poverty. Under the new policy framework, efforts will be made to diversify the economy while creating more jobs in other sectors. Other areas of focus are agriculture and agribusiness, solid minerals development, manufacturing, crude oil sector, natural gas development and exploitation, tourism, revenue generation, and expenditure. Similarly, more emphasis will be placed on good governance, data collection, and e-government, as well as integration among the 3 tiers of government.
To promote those already in existence here in Europe, and also to promote by way of exchange program for those in Africa. 2, to organize big African festival of arts and culture every year in Europe, the first of which was organized year 2002, April. The second will come up in Portugal in October. 3, to carry out the functions of this great association, we have different approach to it. We have the school project, which includes dance, music, batik. This is done with different schools here in Torino, Moncaleri, Alpiano, and many others for communities around here in Torino. There's also the dance and percussion class, number 13A, Roberto Rosa in Torino. The association also participates in the annual festival of Identità e Differenza. The group is also starting a theater program in June this month. Nigerians especially ladies who are interested can join us. You can contact us on this telephone these two telephone lines: 338 920 6492, 333 8661 221. We have our email address is afrofestival@yahoo.it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
With a population in excess of 120 million people, Nigeria is regarded as the biggest country of people of African descent, and as well as one of the African continents. Liberated from British colonial governance in 1960, the country has a vast and diverse cultural resources with over 450 language groups and half as many tribal formations. Out of these language groups, 3 are dominant, namely Hausa in the north, Yoruba in the west, and Igbo in the east. As rich and diverse as it is culturally, Nigeria naturally has a rich tapestry of artistic disciplines steeped in its many cultural formations, and these in terms of material and immaterial resources. Also, many of its citizens have won various eminent prizes around the world, which makes the country one of the highest achieving nations. Prominent among the prizes won by its citizens are the Nobel Prize for Literature by Professor Wole Soyinka in 1986. It was the first time that a black man would achieve such a feat. Another citizen, Ben Okri, won the Booker Prize as the first ever black man to win the British Literary Prize. Also, many of the citizens have attained international status in visual arts, music, theater, and other disciplines. The most prominent artist disciplines in Nigeria, which are known, are music. Nigerian music includes juju, highlife, fuji, afrobeat, agbala, gospel, shakara, jazz, reggae, hip-hop, and much more. But whatever the style, the theme, and the focus of the songs are often greatly influenced by the deep traditions of the over 400 cultural groups which make up Nigeria, and in equal parts influenced by the numerous global cultures whose products and aesthetics bombard Nigerians daily through the airwaves and in print and other media. Visual arts. Visual arts in Nigeria include many traditional and contemporary forms. Visual art includes many aesthetic objects, whether static, dynamic, temporary, or permanent, which is best appreciated visually. Nigerian arts can be found in the area of sculpture, paintings, body decorations, textile, jewelry, and other wearable arts. Most prominent in these visual arts forms, however, is the textile arts, in which many Nigerians have distinguished themselves mostly in the production of a direct iron dye and batik, as well as the woven clothes. Textile arts. Textile arts trace their origins back centuries or maybe millennia to the decoration and wool garments in which Nigeria's many cultures are noted. Many of the ancient textile traditions remain vibrant today, as sugarcane, digo, akwete, and so on. Today, textiles are included in the ancient standards and a wide variety of contemporary expressions using modern dyes, printing, and loom techniques. Textiles are alive and thriving in Nigeria today. Performing arts, theater, dance, acrobatics, masks. Performing arts may represent the oldest and greatest genre of expressive art in Nigeria and Africa in general. It also includes some of Nigeria's most contemporary forms of expression, including technology-driven genres such as film and video. Performance includes arts which are best appreciated by watching them performed live. Theater in Nigeria comes in many forms whose roots trace back hundreds of years to its many indigenous societies. One of the more noted traditions is traveling theaters, which have been known to ply the countryside. In the 20th century, theatre took a former turn with the evolution of a variety of contemporary theatre accompaniments. Some of the legendary practitioners include Hubert Ogunde, Duro, Ladipo, and many others. Their works took on the complexity of historical myth as well as the challenge of modern society and political reality. Last but not least, film and movies. Nigeria is a large market with over 120 million people and over 100 broadcast stations, TV networks, cable, pay TV, etc. Filmmaking in the country started as far back as 1907, but it was in the 70s, the era of the discovery of crude oil, that ushered in a boom of production of future films. Many of the films have made international circuits and recorded successes. The advent of the structural adjustments program of following the countries obtaining the International Monetary Fund's loan in the 80s led to a shrink in the fortune of the cinema. However, the video film format was ushered in by the absence of adequate funding for the celluloid. Currently, Nigeria is renowned as one of the biggest video movie producing countries in the world, with a young industry grossing the $1 million mark in 5 years. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was very informative. And so Naomi was not just only a performer, she's also very vast in artistry. One more time, a round of applause for her. And let us go to something more revolutionary. And before we do that, I'd like to formally apologize to those 3 great artists. It was a mistake of the head and not of the heart that we didn't introduce you. And I can tell you that artists don't talk too much, their work speaks for themselves. I think I'm right. Yeah, their work speaks for themselves. So we appreciate what you did by redefining this role. And also when they came out, they were artists of great and signified repute. God bless your hand. So we'll be listening to our very good brother here. He will be talking on human rights. That sounds very revolutionary.
Human rights, the origin. It is partially believed that many scholars contend that human rights have their roots in Western civilization. Be that as it may, it is equally true that the acceptance as inherent, Western, natural, and universal rather has its root in international political consensus, which includes the participation of all major cultures, thus their establishment in international law. Bertrand de Jouvenel Le Pauvre in 1967 writes that many social anthropologists view all cultures as having similar values, differently, and afford each different priorities. Perhaps it would be more appropriate to say that human rights are separate from human values, were first conceptualized as right in liberal Western democratic society, and thus, liberal Western countries were the first to initiate the concept of universal human rights law. Based on these facts, there have been different schools of thoughts and assumptions on these human rights. That human rights defend the dignity of the individual vis-a-vis the society at large and the state in particular. The individual has an alienable dignity because he is an end in himself. There is also the assumption of a democratic social order. Society is assumed to be not an hierarchical order founded on a divine will or a magical origin, but a sum of free individuals organized to achieve otherwise unreachable goals. Based on this origin, the Declaration of Human Rights was dutifully submitted to all civilizations and states for acceptance before being brought into force. It must be considered, at least in its intentions, as a declaration with universal validity. To say that human rights are not universal, we must say that they are not human and will cease to be human rights. The whole novelty of the declaration lies precisely here in the assertion that every human being, by the mere fact of being human, is endowed with alienable rights that everybody should respect. Every single human being, white, black, brown, or any other color, by the very fact of being born in Europe, America, or in Asia or Africa, has a dignity and rights equal to any other. If it's not one's place in society or degree of civilization or intellectual, moral, religious endowment that counts, certain limits will immediately appear. You may be physically, morally, intellectually, or religiously subnormal or abnormal. But the naked fact of being born is the universal symbol on which human rights is based fundamentally, and hence it is called fundamental human rights.
missing you for a very long time. We have told you again. Yeah, I thank God for their lives. Right about now, we're still very much in the entertainment session. We're having a very short fashion parade.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to show you more, because this is the gallery of the collection of African beauty, art in particular. Now the woman who is responsible for this show, for this display, ladies and gentlemen, is a woman associated with glamour, a woman who has become the embodiment of beauty, the woman who has decided to bring out the color of the beautiful African woman, clothe her rightly, and put her in the right perspective. She's the designer, the African designer here in Italy, of Frank Designers. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the woman. Please put your hands together for her. And ladies and gentlemen, she's about to display. Can you beat me? This pillar, this can't be very popular with the letters on the bottom. And this one, I hope you did not sell her in the market. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the beauty of an average Yoruba man. You can find people like them in Dubai. You can find them in the palace. You can find their laugh in sporting something like that too. Ladies and gentlemen, another beauty, an African woman. Put glamour together and put your hands together for this woman. You see woman? This is Nigeria we hate me, alias Bubu. Where you see
di cooperazione internazionale con paesi del Mediterraneo, però in questo caso è stata coinvolta anche la Nigeria, perché è uno dei paesi dell'Africa che possono usufruire di questo programma. Allora, Alima significa Albania, Nigeria, Marocco, perché il progetto coinvolge questi tre paesi. Se parlo troppo velocemente, parlo veloce, mi capite? Dirò in inglese, vi leggerò in inglese lo scopo generale di questo progetto, che è quello di aiutare alla reintegrazione sociale di quelle persone che in Italia non sono riuscite a trovare una loro posizione e che sono obbligate a tornare nel loro paese. È un progetto per accogliere, stimolare quelle persone che tornano a casa a seguire un percorso di formazione professionale e anche a cercare di realizzare un'attività lavorativa. Questo grazie a questo programma, che è un programma di aiuto economico, di microcrediti, di aiuto economico allo sviluppo appunto di attività lavorative nel paese di origine. Allora, I just tell you, so in English, the aim of the project, so maybe it's more clear for... Our project addresses foreign citizens from Albania, Morocco and Nigeria, detained in prisons or in temporary detention center, remand pending deportation in Piedmont, who will face, after the completion of their stay, repatriation into their country of origin. They are particularly vulnerable, not only because they have to accept the failure of their migration plans, but also because they are forced to go back home without an intelligent and very well educated and who really would like to join together for this big effort and try to develop a new perspective for their life. So the few words on partners of this project. Of course, it's a big project, and so we need also to work with other partners. They are working in Morocco, Albania, and these partners are COPI, that is cooperation, international cooperation, Italian international cooperation. They are based in Milano. They are already working since many years on this field. And CESPI, that is a Center for International Political Studies, because the first step will be a research on work activities in Nigeria, which is the best activity that we can develop. And another is a Research and Vocational Training Association. And so they are really in charge on the part of the training that we develop in Nigeria. And Association of Cultural Mediators that will be involved, and City of Moncalieri. Do you know Moncalieri City, close to Torino? They are also in charge because they are the coordinator of a network of cities for peace coordination. So this occasion is very precious because we would like Nigerian people in Italy to be aware how many efforts our country is doing. It's not only the aspect, the negative aspect of those we know as deportation, but there are many other efforts that NGOs and even local government they are trying to do to join with Nigerian authorities and NGOs for giving a best future for those they in some way unfortunately they must go home. So I want to finish here. I close my brief speech and I invite all of you to visit us eventually in Tampere so we can discuss better and more deeply about this problem. Thank you very much.